Welcome to the Digital Empires podcast. I'm Shruti Pankthi, a digital product entrepreneur and content creator. I went from being a hobby blogger to building a 7-figure business in just 4 years using the power of digital products and content marketing. And I'm here to help you do the same. So let's get started. Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about why you are not making sales and what are the 2 things that are holding you back. These are the exact things that I understood when I was miserably failing at launching and scaling my products. And once I fixed these 2 things, I basically never looked back. My business has since then grown from, making 5 figures, low 5 figures to 6 figures to 7 figures, and now multiple 7 figures. Now, these 2 things are super easy, and you've probably heard about them, but I want to break them down step by step as to how you can actually fix them and what you can do right now to make sure that you make more sales going into, this next season of your business. I'm not going to be overcomplicating any strategies. I'm just going to give you actionable tips so that you can take these tips and start diving into it right away. So first things first, what are these 2 things that you need to fix? So the thing number 1 that you absolutely need to fix is your product. Some people also like to call it the offer, and I've done a lot of other podcast episodes on this as well. So make sure to go back and check out any relevant podcast episodes that you might find interesting in improving your product. However, I am going to walk you through why this is important and what are the action steps you can take to improve your product. Now, I once came across a quote that said that if you have a great product, you don't really need to do any marketing. And I think that is so true, because if you have a great product, it speaks for itself and it makes sure that it's actually solving a specific problem and, fulfilling a need in the market, which is what makes it so great and which is what makes it sell on autopilot. So some of the action steps that I want you to think about when it comes to improving your product is number 1, make sure to validate your product idea. Now, validation simply means that you make sure that there is demand for your product even before you plan to create and launch it. You want to make sure that people in the market that you're planning to target actually have money and they're willing to pay for the solution that you are going to create. Now, how you can do this is you can go on platforms like Etsy, Amazon, and even Pinterest to see what's already selling. You can check out the latest trends, you can check out seasonal products, and you can even in some cases check out the volume of the products that are being sold. Other tools to use include Google Trends, Answer the Public, where you can really figure out, okay, what are the deeper issues that are coming up on these, topics? So what are the specific problems that people are looking for answers to? Now, an example of this would be if you're planning to create, let's say, a budgeting or a finance planner, you simply go on Etsy and look for finance planner or budget planner and see what are the designs, what are the features, what are the benefits, what formats are popular, and what is selling the most. On Etsy, you're also able to see something called the bestseller listing, where you can see what products are bestsellers, which essentially means that these products are selling more than others. So that can give you a lot of information as to what is hot and what is trending in the market. Step 2 here is to narrow down your focus. Now, if you're trying to please everyone, you're trying to, please no one. And if you're trying to create products that are going to appeal to a ginormous audience, they're probably going to fall flat and resonate with absolutely no one, right? So we want to be making sure at this point that we're actually defining who our audience is and what problem my product is going to address. So at this stage, you really want to write down the core benefit that your product provides. Does it save people time? Does it save them money? Is it going to implement speed in their process? Is it going to create ease in their life? I want you to write down the core benefit that your product provides so that that comes across clearly in any of your sales pages, marketing assets, or even just, if you're creating an Instagram story to promote your product, you should be able to double down on this benefit. So an example of this would be, let's say you want to create a recipe ebook and you might just name your ebook something like, 20 recipes and that's it. That is not a great name because it is too generic. It doesn't really solve a specific problem. It gives you no idea who this ebook is for. And when that is the case, people don't buy because they are confused as to who it belongs to. Instead of this, you could look at having an ebook which is all about 30 instant or quick keto recipes for busy moms. That is targeted. It solves a clear problem. It shows that it's going to save you time because it's going to be quick recipes, and it also shows you exactly what type of diet it's for, which is the keto diet. plus the audience it is for, which is busy moms. So you really want to make sure that you're narrowing your focus and you're trying to talk to a very specific audience, because that is the audience that you want to attract and convert. Next up, we want to talk about something that a lot of you ignore when you're starting out, and that is going to be quality. You want to make sure that you're actually creating a high quality product. No matter how much research you've done, no matter how amazing your name is, no matter how many pages you have, if your product looks like crap, it's not going to sell. Specifically, when it comes to digital products, which are so visual, people need to be able to see what they're going to get from you before they actually order it. It's not like ordering a pair of shoes from Amazon that you already know what, a pair of shoes feels and looks like. So when it comes to digital products, you want to be making sure that you are investing in quality, whether it is, using tools like Canva to create ebooks, templates, posters, whatever, or you're using tools like Notion to, create specific templates. You can also use a free tool like Google Docs to actually plan your content first and then draft that in Canva, with a nice, sexy template. When it comes to creating videos, you can use tools like Loom or ScreenFlick, which are super easy for recording your screen and are quite light on the pocket as well. Now, if this is something that you commit to doing before you actually launch your product, you're going to have a much higher chance of actually making more sales because nobody wants to pay money for a product that looks like crap. All right, moving on to the second thing that you need to fix in order to be making more sales. And this is going to be your traffic. Now, traffic equals audience equals visitors equals eyeballs equals sales. Just like a shop on the street is not going to survive without people visiting the shop, the same way your shop is not going to survive with just two of your friends hanging out there every day. Once you have a great product, the next step, and this is so critical, guys, and so many of you all underestimated, it is about bringing the right people into your world to actually see the product, because if no one knows about your product, they can't buy it. So I'm going to give you some action steps to make sure that you're able to drive more traffic. Now, first things first, and this is going to be similar to, what we did when we were trying to narrow down our focus with the product step. We want to narrow down our audience. I want you to think about, where does my audience hang out? Who are these people who are going to be needing my product? So let's take the example of the keto ebook that we just spoke about, and your target audience is moms. Where do moms hang out? Do they hang out on Instagram? Do they hang out on TikTok? Do they hang out on Facebook? Do they hang out on Twitter? You want to be picking a platform that is going to be serving your audience, and you want to start by thinking, okay, who is my customer? What is their main pain point? Where are they hanging out? You can even use tools like Google Analytics. You can use tools like Facebook Audience Insights to just gather the data on your audience. Now, obviously, if you already have been using a social media platform like Instagram or TikTok, you can go into your insights, into your analytics, and really just do a demographic analysis as to who is your audience. Are there more women versus men in your audience? What age group are they in? Which cities are they living in? Which countries are they in? This is really going to help you cater your content, which is going to be the primary way that you're going to be able to drive traffic. The next thing that you want to think about when it comes to growing your traffic is to make sure that you are maximizing free traffic channels. Now, I'm probably not the first person to tell you that there are so many ways to drive traffic to your products. And free traffic sources can include things like Google, Bing, your regular search engines, or it can include sources like social media, right? And every single month there is a new social media tool coming up. But with that said, you do need to figure out, okay, where is my audience hanging out and with what frequency can I actually target them? And here's where it gets interesting. So you have to think of the person, the audience, and also the format in which you're going to target them. So for example, if you are planning to grow your Pinterest account and you want to attract busy moms there, you're going to be needing to create visual pins, which are going to link to your product page, right? You can use a tool like Canva to do that. Targeting on Pinterest is very different from, let's say, targeting on Instagram. On Instagram, it's more about connecting with stories, sharing carousel posts, sharing reels, things which are more related to your product, but also to your brand and have a certain aesthetic. You can also use hashtags on Instagram to get found. But again, like I said, every platform will require a different approach. When it comes to SEO, you're going to have to create long form blog posts or create YouTube videos, and you're going to have to add in keywords, related to your product so that people down the line can find these videos. You can use tools like Ubersuggest, Ahref, or even just Google Trends for, looking for trending keywords. Now, for example, if you are selling the keto ebook, you can actually create Pinterest pins, which are going to be all about, keto workouts, and maybe show smaller clips of what's inside of your ebook and then sell that on Pinterest by linking these images to your sales pages. Now, the strategy is going to differ depending on where your audience is hanging out, but it's so important to at least pick one channel and stick to that channel every single day, because until you have a certain momentum on the channel, you will not know whether it's working for you or not. And for me, generally speaking, my momentum seems to be around 100 posts. If I'm starting a new social media platform and I want to be building my business there, I'm going to be posting 100 times before I make a judgment on whether or not it's working for me. Why? Because first things first, my 100 posts are going to be likely not going viral because it's also my first time on the platform. And secondly, after having created 100 posts, I have enough data points to actually make an objective decision instead of a subjective decision on which platform is working for me and which isn't. So at this point, I really want you to think, honestly, and be honest with yourself and don't bullshit yourself on whether you've actually showed up the way that you should show up on these platforms. The next way you can also boost your traffic and hence boost your sales is going to be paid ads, right? Paid ads can be a great way to accelerate your results and to sort of add fuel to the fire, but you first need to have a fire going. So if you have a product that nobody's buying, even with your organic efforts, then chances are your ads are not going to work either. So I only suggest, experimenting with paid traffic once you have had at least some initial proof of success and you know that your product is something that people want and are willing to buy. Next up, what you can also do in order to increase your visibility and send more traffic is to combine your efforts with either influencers or affiliates in your space. Now, it's possible that you don't have a large budget to actually pay influencers to promote your products. However, what you can do is you can probably offer them free access to get, for example, social proof or reviews. And you can also set up an affiliate program depending on the tool that you're using. So for example, if you're using something like Gumroad or Thrivecart, you can actually let others promote your product for a commission. Now, this does require a little bit of active work because you do have to actively reach out to people in your industry who are going to be able to help you do this. But once you set this up, it's pretty passive in the sense that if your affiliate is a good, affiliate, they're going to be sending traffic and referrals and sales your way any which ways. So it does require a little bit of initial setup and work, but it can be a great strategy to use in the long run. The next strategy that I also want to talk about is one of my favorite strategies and that I have used time and time again to build not only a relationship with my audience, but also to build a lot more on the existing traffic sources that I already have. And this strategy is to build an email list. Now, I know I'm going to sound like a boring grandma and telling you to build an email list, but there's a reason why the world's biggest e-commerce brands have large and amazing email marketing lists. Not only are they marketing via email, they're even sending SMSs to their audiences to actually build a relationship with them and to get them on the website. Because once someone is on your website, that is when the conversion event takes place. If someone is at home totally ignoring you, you're not even at the top of your mind, chances are you're not going to make a sale. And this is exactly why having an email list gives you a huge advantage and boost in the long run, because you can own and direct your traffic. You can use tools like ConvertKit or MailChimp to start for free and then build as you go along. You can even offer something which is called as a freebie or an ethical bribe in order for people to sign up and give them your email address. So anything that is related to your product, but is maybe a sneak peek or like a mini version of it, that is something you can actually offer to them for free in exchange for them to sign up to your email list. And that is where you're going to be sending updates about your product, any new content pieces you create, and just building and nurturing a relationship in the long run. Building an email list is a fabulous way to actually build a long-lasting business. And pretty much every successful entrepreneur I know has an amazing relationship with their email list. Now, a lot of you will be like, but this can't be it, right? There must be so many other things you can do to make more sales and to grow your business. Yes, there are other things that you can do to make more sales, grow your business and all of that, but none of those things are going to matter if you do not fix these first two foundational steps. So you want to be making sure that you are fixing your product, you're fixing your traffic, and you are leveraging pretty much every single strategy that you have, up your sleeve, testing it out, giving yourself time to see the results, and then moving on to the next strategy. If one product doesn't work, try another. If one traffic strategy doesn't work, try another. You're not here to set up yourself to fail. You are here to set up yourself to succeed, and success only comes with testing and trying and making sure that you are using data to make your decisions and not just being run by your feelings, because feelings can often get in the way of us doing a lot of things. So we want to be making sure that we are actually being objective when it comes to growing our business. Thank you for listening. As always, if you found this helpful, make sure to share it with someone who could also use these tips. Follow and subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done that already. And if you would love to hear from me every single week in your inbox, sharing my 7-figure strategy that's working for me in this week in real time, I'd love to invite you to join me inside of Money Moves. Details are going to be in the description box below. Have a good rest of your day.